Hello everyone, my name is Kadeem Robinson. I am the Director of Legislation and Communications here, and thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you celebrating the council members' first 100 days in office. Just to get you all excited, right? That's all I want to do because the council member we have a really great agenda for you all today. And first, before I do anything else, I just want to say to the council member, congratulations. Yes. With that, I'm just going to hand it over to the council member Pierina Sanchez. Yes.
The purpose of today is to share with you what has happened in the last 100 days. It's really been an incredible journey, and I'm so fortunate to be here with you all and making these changes in our community. So the first part of my address is going to be about these 100 days. What have we done? What has happened in the community? What more needs to happen? Where are we going from here? And then I have a special announcement about our participatory budgeting process. You all, this community has taken me by storm. You have completely impressed me. You have already done what so many said that you couldn't do, that you wouldn't participate, that you wouldn't show up, but you did. And we have so many people who voted and decided how we as a community are going to use $1 million. And we're going to be announcing that on the second part of this today. Yes. So thank you everyone. Today is a beautiful day. Rain is abundance.
Yes.
We were supposed to be outside, but we're in here and it's abundance, it's beauty. We're all creating and growing things in this community. And it's beautiful because in my first 100 days, I get to be in your presence. Neighbors, friends, constituent partners. I've had the time of my life representing the good people of the best district, District 14, in the city of New York. There's no better way to commemorate my first 100 days than to be here with you, los vecinos. So muchísimas gracias por estar aquí. Hoy tenemos una agenda de dos partes. Primeramente, vamos a charlar y hablar sobre lo que hemos hecho en estos 100 días de oficina, como yo como concejal. Hemos hecho muchas cosas ya, pero lo mejor está por delante. Y en estos 100 días ha pasado algo muy importante. Y eso es que ya ustedes han demostrado lo que tantos dijeron que no era posible en esta comunidad. Ustedes han participado. Ustedes se han hecho la voz escuchar. Y la segunda parte de mi anuncio hoy es cómo ustedes votaron y dijeron que vamos a usar nosotros $1 millón para la comunidad. So first, let me say this. I always start with thanks. I did not get here by myself. We don't do anything by ourselves. And these first 100 days, we also did not do this by ourselves. It's always been with your support. So thank you. And besides a few droplets, that's okay. We've had those too. But the first 100 days have been nothing short of a roller coaster. In my first 100 days, your city council member, your Pierina Sanchez, sponsored the first bill to pass in this historic New York City Council. Aquí en esta comunidad, su concejal, Pierina Sánchez, pasó el primer proyecto de ley de esta sesión legislativa. We're protecting tenants. We're fighting for the city's rent stabilization law. First, we have to keep it, and then we have to make sure it's good. And you will see me everywhere, at every step of the way, fighting for rent-stabilized tenants and all tenants. Now, just to hit you with a few markers. On day 9, January 9th, we began with responding to a tragic fire in Twin Parks Northwest. Twin Parks Northwest is not in District 14, but it is right next door. And so when we got the call from the police precinct and the fire department, our team was there. And we've been there consecutively and consistently. Unfortunately, we've had other tragic fires, and we continue to be there. But also happy things. On day 19, we officially launched participatory budgeting for the first time in this district. We'll talk more about this. That's part 2. But let's just say that you all have elected how $1 million will be used right in District 14. On day 20, I got really amazing news. And that is that I would have the honor of serving as the New York City Council's chair on housing and buildings. It is one of the most powerful committees in the New York City Council. And that power is centering here. It's centering District 14, the home, unfortunately, of an eviction crisis and the home of housing struggles in the city of New York. Your council member is the chair of the Committee on Housing and Buildings. Yes. Number 20, on day 22? Yes. That's right. Yes. On day 22, we made noise. We gathered with our neighbors at Fort Independence houses, where 344 apartments, 715 tenants were without heat and hot water again. Again and again and again. And so for those 715 tenants that represent so many of us in the community, we stood there and we demanded that NYCHA do better and that the city of New York do better by our residents. We dared leaders in Washington, D.C. who have yachts and mansions. We dared them to come to District 14 and tell us that we are not in need of investment. On day 28, I co-hosted my first COVID distribution. And as you will know, you can come here any day and you will receive a COVID test, and we will also continue to be reaching out to the community. We've also served several food distributions in partnership with our community-based organizations, serving almost 300 families and distributing over 800 meals with our local partners. That will continue. On day 36, we responded to yet another fire in our district, which has become a common theme throughout my time, and that is of negligent landlords who refuse to provide heat for our constituents. Following each fire is what we've continued to do. And to this day, I want to shout out Amanda. Yeah, Amanda!
Yes, Amanda!
Samantha.
Samantha!
Sharon.
Yeah!
Chanel.
Yeah!
Because usually people pay attention only when the cameras are there. Usually politicians are there when the cameras are there, and then they disappear.
Yes.
But I am so proud of my team that even this weekend, even as recently as this weekend, we were dropping off resources, calling our families, checking in with them to make sure that everyone is okay. On day 53, in defense of our neighbors, we organized a rally on University Avenue to fight for people who were being kicked out of their homes. We need good cause legislation. Everything that you are facing is tied to something bigger in this city, in this state, and in this country. Every single time that you come in with a constituent complaint, know that you are not alone. You are part of a bigger picture. You are part of a system that we are trying to and will dismantle. And so a company here and a landlord there who are treating you poorly, who are abusing you, they're part of a bigger system, and we're going to change that system. On day 55, I introduced my very first bill in the city council. And on 56, we had the very first hearing on that bill. And on day 62, we opened the People's Office in District 14. It's been busy. A few days later, we passed that first bill. I'm going to go through the days and then I'll give a recap in Spanish. On day 68, I introduced another piece of legislation, fighting for housing dollars to be used correctly in the city of New York. We in the city of New York, unfortunately, we give billions of dollars away to wealthy, rich developers to build housing. And none of that comes here. So of course I'm gonna fight that. Because those dollars, they need to come right here. And now on day 93, that was a hard day. And that was the day that we lost Doña Juana Perdomo Soriano to senseless violence. She was running her usual errands on Fordham Road. And right there on the corner of 188th and Grand Concourse, as she was approaching the train station, she usually went to that grocery store, that bodega that is there. She was hit by a stray bullet. Doña Juana was 61. That's my mother's age. And for Doña Juana, we fight on. We're saying no to violence. We're saying we are here and we are loved and we are here to stay. And so I stood with the police commissioner, Commissioner Sewell, that evening. And the rest of the week, I stood with our community-based organization, because the way that you reduce violence, yes, we have to take those who are the most violent off our streets. Yes, That is what the NYPD is designed to do. But the way that you fundamentally reduce violence is you provide opportunity, and you bring jobs, and you bring educational opportunities. And those two niños that are right there, those two children that are right there, they're my future. They're our future. And they are the ones that I'm fighting for and that we should all fight for as we bring safety and quality of life to our community. While these are only a few of the events of the last 100 days, we're only just getting started. I did not come here to play. I did not.
Say it again.
I did not come here to play. We did not come here to play. We came here to work. Sometimes it's going to be fun, but we came here to work, okay? And so now I'm going to give a short recap in Spanish as well. But thank you for listening through all of that. Bueno, ahora le voy a dar unos pocos adelantes de lo que hemos hecho en los últimos 100 días. Empezamos el día primero. El día 9 sufrimos una tragedia. Un fuego que nos quitó a 17 humanos, hermanos, en Twin Parks Northwest. Ahí fue que despertamos, empezando este cargo, nosotros los líderes, y seguimos luchando por esas familias que nos quedaron. El día 19, en el 19 día, nosotros empezamos el presupuesto participativo, poniendo en las manos de la comunidad cómo vamos a usar $1 millón. Usualmente, a un concejal o una concejala le toca a esa persona a tomar todas esas decisiones, pero no. Ustedes hicieron lo que se dijo que no podían hacer, y ustedes hicieron correr la voz y se escucharon y votaron. En el día 20 recibí buenas noticias, que yo como concejal del Distrito 14 voy a servir como la canciller del Comité de Viviendas y Edificios en la ciudad de Nueva York. Esta es una de las comités más fuertes, más poderosas en la ciudad de Nueva York. Y qué bien le queda a la comunidad que estamos sufriendo tanto con las viviendas. Una crisis de desalojos. Un 80% de los casos que entran aquí a esta comunidad son de viviendas. Y aquí su concejal tiene como canciller el Comité de Viviendas y Edificios. El día 22 seguimos haciendo bulla, porque es necesario. En Fort Independence, que es un proyecto de NYCHA, por otra vez, la quinta o la sexta o la séptima vez, no tenían calefacción. 344 apartamentos, 715 individuos sin calefacción. Nos paramos ahí a luchar y le apostamos a los líderes en Washington que no se atreven a venir al Bronx y no se atreven a venir al Distrito 14 a decir que nosotros no necesitamos esa inversión. En el día 28 empezamos a hacer las distribuciones de la prueba de COVID. Cualquier día ustedes pueden venir aquí, tenemos pruebas de COVID y estamos sanos y salvos. También estamos dando mucha comida en la oficina. Ya hemos repartido 300 a 300 familias, más de 800 comidas en este corto plazo. En el 36 día, nosotros tuvimos otro fuego en la comunidad. Es como un lema, ¿verdad? Estos fuegos son causados por el abuso de dueños que no están cuidando sus edificios. Y bueno, mientras yo como canciller de la Comité de Vivienda y Edificios estamos luchando contra eso, introduciendo legislación para darle, como dicen los dominicanos, darle pela a esos landores que quieren ser negligentes. También quiero agradecerle a mi equipo que todos los días están llamando a estas familias, asegurando de que ellos tengan los recursos necesarios. Y solo este fin de semana, este equipo estaba haciendo deliveries a familias que lo perdieron todo, que no tienen su ropa, no tienen sus camas, no tienen sus documentos personales. Nosotros no nos vamos cuando no hay cámaras. Nosotros seguimos porque el trabajo sigue. Ahora el día 53, otra vez nos paramos a luchar por las familias que lo están echando de sus apartamentos. Ahí en University tuvimos un rally donde vinieron muchísimas personas de toda la ciudad para proteger y defender a los inquilinos de University Avenue. Y eso lo vamos a seguir haciendo. Y un punto muy importante que yo quiero que todos ustedes sepan. Cuando ustedes entran aquí con un problema, esos problemas están vinculados a problemas sistémicos mucho más grandes de lo que ustedes están enfrentando. Y yo quiero que ustedes sepan que con cada historia y con cada lucha que ustedes llegan aquí a esta oficina, nosotros estamos haciendo el trabajo de conectarlo a esa lucha más grande y más superior para que todos podamos mejorar. En el 55 días introducimos mi primer proyecto de ley. En el 56 nosotros tuvimos audiencia y en el 68 ese proyecto de ley pasó como el primer proyecto de ley en el Consejo Municipal. O sea que aquí mismo su concejal fue la primera que pasó un proyecto de ley en el Consejo Municipal. Ahora quiero hablar de un día muy triste para la comunidad. Y no importa cuántas veces lo diga, siempre me quedo así de sentida. Que en el día 93 perdimos a la señora doña Juana Perdomo Soriano. Una señora madre, incluso de la misma edad de mi madre, estaba caminando en la 188 hacia el tren y le dio un tiro sin querer. Esa señora era madre, esa señora era trabajadora, era muy buena persona y debería de estar con nosotros aquí todavía. Y eso a mí me dolió en el corazón, porque cuando yo vi a esa señora, veía su foto y conocía a sus hijos, me veía yo misma. Entonces estamos aquí para decir, y voy a seguir repitiendo, no, cero tolerancia a la violencia. Cero tolerancia. Esa noche, sí, me paré junto a la comisionada de la policía, Commissioner Sudo, y ellos hicieron su trabajo y esas personas responsables están en custodia, gracias a los policías. Pero en toda esa semana, y el trabajo sigue, que nosotros estamos trabajando con los líderes de la comunidad, porque la violencia, eso viene de la falta de recursos, de la falta de oportunidades en una comunidad. No, cero tolerancia para cualquier persona que sea violente, pero también trayendo los recursos a la comunidad, asegurando de que estamos previniendo y que los niños, que son nuestro futuro, que me fueron mis dos niños que no están ahí, esos dos niños son nuestro futuro. Por esos dos niños es que estamos trabajando. Necesitamos after school programas después de la escuela, y programas de trabajo del verano. Todo eso, lo que hacen en Davidson Community Center, todo eso es parte de la lucha. Y todo, aunque no parezca relacionado, es relacionado. Las oportunidades para nuestros jóvenes y nuestra gente. Y últimamente, son tantas cosas, pero últimamente la vivienda. La vivienda es lo esencial. Entonces yo, como canciller del Comité de Viviendas en el Consejo Municipal, estoy luchando por $4,000 millones para viviendas, para construir. La verdad es que estoy en deuda con ustedes. Cada persona que entra aquí Si no es la primera cosa o la segunda cosa, casi siempre me dicen, Pierina, consigue un apartamento. Y esto es la lucha, ¿verdad? De aquí es que vienen los apartamentos. Almost every person who walks into this office says, Pierina, you gotta get me an apartment. So it all starts with these fights, with these struggles for the funding that is gonna build our housing. But it's not only about building housing, it's also about preserving housing, right? It's also about making sure that where you live is healthy. Where you live is dignified. So that money that we are fighting for is also to repair the units where you live, right? Entonces, la lucha de vivienda es para construir, pero también para preservar. So, donde ustedes viven, que ustedes vivan con dignidad, que sean los apartamentos saludables. Todo eso es parte de la lucha. So, ahora quiero agradecerles a par de organizaciones y personas, y siempre me meto en problemas porque son demasiadas personas para agradecerles, pero quiero agradecerles a la Junta Comunitaria 4, 5, 7 y 8, a el Consejo de los Policías, un consejo que son civiles que viven en la comunidad, que participan con los precintos 44, 46, 50 y 52. Quiero también agradecerles, hemos visitado a muchas escuelas en estos 100 días. También quiero agradecerles a esos principales y a los padres que son líderes en esa escuela, que son los que gritan y dicen, hey, aquí no hay recursos, aquí no hay, la comida no sirve, todo eso, el currículo está mal, todo eso luchan esos padres. Sin ellos yo no pudiera hacer mi trabajo, yo no supiera lo que está pasando en cada escuela. Y claro, a mis colegas que son electos, que no pudieron estar aquí hoy, pero a los congresistas, los senadores, la asamblea, todo eso trabajamos juntos en diferentes niveles de gobierno para traer los recursos a esta comunidad. So I want to thank Community Boards 4, 5, 7, and 8. Our precinct councils from the NYPD's 44th precinct, 46th, 50th, and 52nd. Our parent-teacher associations, without whom I would not be able to know what's going on in every single school. They're the ones who are constantly fighting and yelling when we need things. And of course, to our elected partners. I'm the city council representative. I'm here. I get to see you all the time. I'm in my office often, right? But we also have elected leaders that are in Albany, right? Senator Gustavo Rivera, Serrano. We also have Assemblymember Rivera, now Assemblymember Tapia. We also have our members of Congress, Richie Torres and Adriano Espaillat. Without their work and what they do, I would be limited. So we're fighting at each level of government to represent you.
That's great. Great.
And now, I'm very proud to announce that, how much would you guess? ¿Cuántas personas ustedes creen que han entrado en esta oficina en los últimos 40 días que tenemos abierto? How many people do you think have come into the office in the past 40 days that we've been open?
Aquí dijeron medio millón.
Any other guesses?
4,000.
10,000.
Y'all are ambitious. 20. I hear 20 and I hear a 500,000. So we have served in these 40 days in office. We have had 1,000 people, over 1,000 people come to our doors. And that is every single variable that you have in the community has come in. Latino, African American, African, Jamaican, everyone has come through these doors and have been welcomed because this is the people's office. Los últimos 40 días que tenemos la oficina abierta, nosotros hemos tenido a más de 1,000 personas venir a nuestra oficina. De cada nacionalidad, de cada idioma, todas las personas que viven en esta comunidad han entrado. Y eso es un orgullo para mí porque estamos ganándole a toda la oficina de los concejales. So I want to bring up someone who has been one of these people that our office. They had an issue with their building. They did not feel safe. Quiero traer a una persona que se llama Albino Aguilar, que visitó a nuestra oficina porque tenía asuntos en su oficina, perdón, en su edificio. Yo quiero que ustedes oigan la historia del señor Albino.
Es una alegría poder estar aquí con todos ustedes en los 100 días. Yo conocí esta oficina por un problema que tuve en mi edificio. Personas que se estaban adueñando de nuestro edificio. Quiero mencionar que no tengo nada en contra de las personas de las calles que usan drogas. No hay nada personal, pero una vez que empezaron a meterse con mi familia, insultaron a mi esposa, a mi hija y también a mis compañeros de edificio, a los tenants, pues yo no sabía a dónde ir. Entonces fue cuando vine a esta unidad y me han atendido de lo mejor. Desde entonces he estado en comunicación con Sharon, ella se ha estado comunicando con la policía 352. Realmente es impresionante la esperanza, el apoyo, lo bien que se siente venir a esta oficina. Desgraciadamente me gustó mucho lo que dijo Karina, ¿no? Cero tolerancia a la violencia. Y desgraciadamente cada día miramos las noticias, lo que está pasando en el tren, en la calle, donde quiera. Y uno, al menos yo sufro de impotencia, no podré hacer nada. Pero cuando estamos y damos un paso a estas reuniones y nos concentramos en una visión, en un futuro, podemos hacer mucho, todos juntos, todos unidos. Si nosotros nos unimos y hacemos esa fuerza, esa voz, si juntamos todas las voces de los que estamos aquí, se puede hacer mucho. Asimismo, nosotros necesitamos de Karina, pero también ella necesita, y así todos juntos poder hacer esa voz que realmente el día de mañana pueda tener esa sustancia, ese valor para cada uno de nosotros como ciudadanos. Porque desgraciadamente en la actualidad vivimos en un mundo de egoísmo, en donde muchas veces nomás nos preocupamos por nuestro bienestar, si nos va bien y si estamos bien, no vemos la necesidad del que está al lado de nosotros. Y cuando yo empecé a juntar firmas del edificio donde vivo, sentí mucha tristeza, mucho coraje de ver que todos mis los compañeros de edificio, los tenants, vivían con ese temor inclusive de salir al basement a tirar la basura, porque esa gente se estaba adueñando del edificio. Y gracias a Dios ahora, con la insistencia de esta comunidad, llamando a la policía, todo eso se ha ido desalojando y ahora se respira una paz y una tranquilidad en ese edificio. Porque anteriormente ahí mataron a una persona, justamente aquí tengo un compañero que han asaltado y ahora está el esposo en una situación donde le rompieron el pie y el ojo también. Tuvo varias operaciones que ahora no puede trabajar. Pero gracias a Dios, ahora el edificio está mejor y se está más limpio, y gracias a la vida de todos ustedes. Muchísimas gracias.
So just to recap a little bit of what Mr. Albino said in English. So he was having an issue in his building where the tenants did not feel safe. His wife was assaulted, verbally assaulted. Other people in the building felt intimidated. They didn't even want to go downstairs to take the trash out. Did not even want to leave their door. And so Mr. Albino came to our office with this concern, and we started to coordinate with the local precinct, as well as local community organizations, to get the word out to stop the violence, to stop the intimidation. Mr. Albino says so beautifully, he has nothing against individuals who are struggling with drug addiction. However, that does not give anyone the right to abuse and to intimidate neighbors in the community. And so we're so glad that we were able to help Mr. Albino, and he actually asks all of you to get involved. He went door to door in his building, and he collected signatures from neighbors saying they wanted to see something change, and then he came to us. And so in that same way, he encourages you all, and so do I, to get involved in the community. Thank you, Mr. Albino. So now for the last part of the presentation. So you have behind you, in front of me and behind Mr. Joel, Ms. Maria here, you have our participatory budgeting projects. And so I am so excited to share this news with all of you. So what is participatory budgeting? Participatory budgeting comes from a theory that the community should lead itself. That even in a representative democracy, there is a role for community to exert your own voice on individual decisions. And so this idea was born in 1988, like me, in Porto Alegre, Brazil, and it has since been replicated many times over in cities all over the world, including in New York City, but never in District 14. So participatory budgeting puts the power in your hands to decide how funding, real money, is going to be used in the community. I said I would co-govern when I was running for city council, and this is co-government. El presupuesto participativo es una ideología que dice que aún en una democracia representativa como la nuestra, aún hay un rol para la comunidad directamente en la toma de las decisiones. Esta idea nació en el 1988, como yo, en Porto Alegre, Brasil, y ha sido replicado muchas veces en todo el mundo, incluso aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York, pero nunca en el Distrito 14. Yo dije cuando estaba como candidata que iba a gobernar con la comunidad. Esto es gobernancia con la comunidad. So what did we do? So first, we just collected ideas. We went all over. You saw us on the streets. We also posted it online on social media, and we asked you all to tell us, where do we need investment in the community? Where should we be using public dollars to improve our community? And throughout that process, I received too many ideas. Recibimos muchas ideas en el primer paso, que fue escuchando a la comunidad. Y recibimos 25 proyectos. We received 25 projects. Step 2, after receiving all of these projects, was for a committee of community members. I see you here, sorry. I get excited. A committee of community members to work with the city agencies to vet these projects. The idea is, I don't have a role, I don't have a voice, I'm giving the voice to you. And so we had delegates from the community. We had 5 delegates from the community, different parts, one from Burnside, one from Kingsbridge, somewhere in between from Fordham, right? We had these delegates who fought city agencies, to say, no. You want to say our project is not viable, but it is. It's a good idea. And so in that process, we went from 25 to 5 projects. Those are the 5 projects that you see there. Yes. So el segundo paso fue, de los 25 proyectos, una delegación de líderes comunitarios, ustedes, no yo, de diferentes partes de la comunidad, de la 170, de Burnside, de Fordham, Kingsbridge, todo el sur y todo el norte, una delegación fueron los que lucharon por estas ideas. Y las 25 ideas se convirtieron en esas 5 que ustedes ven ahí. So then, Now we have 5 projects. We know how much they cost, and the community was put to a vote. Okay? So tuvimos 5 proyectos, sabíamos cuánto costaba cada uno, pero solamente hay $1 millón, y la comunidad votó. This is the part where you did. I am so proud of y'all. This is the part where you did what the city and what the world said a community like ours doesn't do. You showed up. You voted. You voted on Burnside. You voted on Fordham. You voted in the libraries. You voted in the senior centers. You voted. 800 votes were cast for these projects here.
Woo!
Y la tercera parte, ustedes hicieron lo que todos dicen que una comunidad como la nuestra no hace. Ustedes vinieron y se dieron a escuchar su voz. Lo hicieron en Fordham, en la 170, en Kingsbridge, en el sur hasta el norte de esta comunidad. Y 800 votos eligieron los ganadores.
Wow.
And with that, drum roll please. Voy a traer a líderes comunitarios que nos van a decir un poco sobre los proyectos que ganaron. Pero primeramente le quiero decir que el primer ganador, bueno, el third place, tercer puesto, se ganó un proyecto que se llama Tech for Teachers. Tecnología para maestros. So, en la escuela 170, que queda en la 174 con Townsend, los maestros no tenían tecnología del Departamento de Educación. Estaban usando sus propios teléfonos, estaban usando su propia cosa y luchando para darle esos servicios, esa educación a esos niños. Y con este proyecto le vamos a dar $56,000. So Tech for Teachers, 170 is a school that where the teachers were using their own phones, their own technology, their own resources to bring technology into classrooms. The Department of Education was not providing it. And so you all voted to give them $56,000 laptops, monitors, projectors, printers, and smart boards. So a leader from our community, Maria Villalobos Nieves, is going to tell you a bit more.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Maria Villalobos Nieves, and I am the president for District 10 President's Council. Thank you for having me for the invitation. It has been an honor to be able to work with you guys and the community in the participatory budget. So I'm just going to share a little bit more about PS 170. PS 170 comes from all walks of life. Many of them are first-generation immigrants, with the children entering the school system for the very first time at the school. PS 170 becomes home not only to the students and to the families, but to the teachers as well. During the pandemic, the teachers' first and main concern was making sure the families knew, but they were still here. They were still here for them, though they couldn't be in the same building. Not only that, these teachers made sure that children continue to learn, but they also went ahead and supported by providing information on community resources the families needed. The Parent Association also made sure that the families not only knew that we had each other to lean on, but that they were here for them. They had food distributions, supply distributions, and more importantly, community support through it all. When the Parent Association noticed that more and more teachers were using their personal computers to be able to do the presentations and lessons in class, they felt they needed to do something. What was that? The families in PS 170 were overjoyed when they found out that the council member, Sanchez, will allow them to present the project in order to thank these heroes, our teachers. Woo! Now, they are heroes that picked with when suffer losses, and now they are our heroes. Why? Because they were able to help. So thank you for the technology that they all deserve. And I will say it in Spanish for everyone. Los padres de la comunidad de la escuela PS 170 vienen de todos los caminos de la vida. Muchos son la primera generación de inmigrantes, de esos niños, y están entrando al sistema escolar en esta escuela. La escuela, pero es uno solo de 70 que vienen siendo del hogar, y no solamente para los estudiantes y sus familias, sino que también para los profesores. Durante la pandemia, la propiedad de los maestros, la prioridad de los maestros era asegurada, que las familias que aunque no podían estar en el mismo edificio, eran de la comunidad y podían contar con su apoyo. Los profesores no solo se aseguraban de que los estudiantes seguirían aprendiendo, sino de que las familias tuvieran todos los recursos necesarios también. Se les dio información de todos los recursos comunitarios que estaban disponibles. La Asociación de Padres también se dio cuenta de la necesidad de la comunidad y creó recaudaciones de distribución de alimentos y fue un apoyo emocionalmente durante todo este tiempo. La Asociación de Padres se dio cuenta que más y más maestros estaban usando sus dispositivos personales para poder dar representación y lecciones en esas clases y se vieron con la obligación de tratar de hacer algo. Estas familias de la escuela PS 170 están felices ahora por poder haber participado en traer este proyecto a los estudios de la concejal Sánchez. Es un gran orgullo poder traer a la luz la necesidad de nuestros héroes. Son héroes que levantaron el teléfono después de las horas de clase, son héroes que levantaron el teléfono los fines de semana, y son héroes que llorarán nuestras tristezas con nosotros, y ahora les podemos dar las gracias a estos héroes. Muchísimas gracias.
All right, now for the second place winner. So we have an incredible community asset in this neighborhood. And we were told that this asset, which is a garden, was not accessible. You can't go in there if you are on a wheelchair. It's very hard to navigate. And so this garden, Bean Morris Garden, it is a symbol of this community's power and resilience. It's going to be receiving $350,000. Es un centro donde esta comunidad ha luchado. Han venido bienes raíces, intereses con dinero a decir no, que no queremos este jardín, queremos hacer otra cosa. Pero la comunidad ha luchado para que este jardín sea para la comunidad. Entonces me dijeron que el jardín no era accesible para personas que están en silla de ruedas. Y entonces estoy muy orgullosa de poder otorgarles $350,000 para decirnos unas palabras, la presidenta del jardín, Miss Carol Cuthbertson.
I also want to thank my children.
We love you.
The struggle has been a fight, and my grandchildren, and it's been hard, you know. Unfortunately, the garden is named after my son that was horrifically murdered on this block. But through that, we gained peace, love, unity, and togetherness and a lot of great things. I'm going to give you a little history about this garden. It was abandoned for many, many years when I was young. And a wonderful woman, her name is Kathy Laddison. She was,
That's all right. Take your time.
she's a part of who I am today. This woman was gracious, loving, caring, and that's who I am, and I learned to follow her. She started the garden movement, and she advocates for a lot of positive things in the neighborhood, and I used to tag along with her, trying to learn the ropes, positive things, going to the precincts for all the events, and learning things about the neighborhood and National Night Out, being a participant in that as young, and the experience was so amazing. So this is the person I said, you know what, I'm gonna be just like this woman. If I can have just a little bit of her, I know I'm gonna be blessed. So unfortunately, we lost her. We just had a memorial for her on Saturday. It was wonderful. Her daughter is Cherise. This is her niece. I want to give us, doing this garden, I've done everything not by myself. These people have been diligent, consistent, loving, caring, and understanding. I want to thank my sister, Kelly, my other sister, Marlene. Woo! I want Kelly and Marlene to come up, because these people deserve to be recognized.
Come on, Mom. Come on. Come on, baby. Bring it up.
Because these people, no matter what we have so many ailments, and when we be in that garden digging, we go on our knees, we be on our hands, and it's for the children. The children get to play, the elders, this money will have a lot of access to a lot of things that the elderly can't do right now, to go on the top, and, because back then, they used to come and garden, the community center, and it was a pleasure. And now it's going to be a better pleasure to have, the necessity repairs done to the garden, so everybody can access it. This is a community garden. Everybody can come together, enjoy, everything that we've been given, all the love. So Kelly, please.
I'm grateful for the community. I'm grateful for all the people in the community. We're here to stop the violence. We're here to support one another. The only way we can get through this is we help one another. Because we all are one kind. We come from one father, y'all. We all are equal, no matter what. God says help all, no matter where you at. And that's where we at. We trying to help all. And I'm going to say we going to start this thing off right, and we going to fix up being God today. I just want to thank God. That's it. God is number one.
Well, I just want to say, I want to thank everybody. This has been a very long process for us, learning what we need to do, the ins and outs, getting volunteers, getting the community involved. I just want to thank everybody. Without y'all, we couldn't do this, and we continue to go further. We hope to see more of y'all, more people involved in getting involved, coming out, being part of it.
I just want to please recognize again my family that I'm so thankful for to get me through the struggles of this longful journey. My goddaughter, my son, and my daughters, and my other daughter, Sylvia,
Come on, y'all. Come on.
My kids, I just want everybody to bring it like this. Come on, my children. And I also want to thank Green Thumb and the parks, because without them, you know, they helped a lot with a lot of things that we needed also. And I want to give thanks for that. I don't know why my girls don't want to come up here. That's okay. That's right. And Shanice, I want you to recognize this young lady again. Her mother is the driving force of this garden. Shanice, would you like to say something, please? Please. Her mother is the This is our family. This is our extended family. You guys are supposed to have my God. Oh, can't stand up there. I can't stand it.
Although my mother was a part of that first generation, start to advocate for the saving of the garden. I think rightfully so. We see it going to the next generation, and I can say my mother was so proud. She's so happy of everything that you guys have done in the work and the unity that you guys have displayed. So from her, I know I can channel her spirit and say that she is extremely
first coming to 4-4 and immediately asking me what events do you want to participate in. As soon as I stepped down, and I respect that and honor it completely. From the words of Jesus Christ, love your neighbor like yourself. It's a very important, I say, Bible verse to communicate to community level. I've noticed that the younger kids from the community, they don't have a sense of knowingness of what it means to be neighborly. And us,
yeah, get up here, Randy.
sorry, Randy also is been 4-4 for his whole life. But I have to say that being with the kids, Randy and I, many others that represent 4-4, we should put our entire focus on allowing these kids to be more neighborly with one another, teaching them how to say good morning to each other and not just walk by one another, and be able to include others in basketball games, whether that's people that don't play basketball, like younger girls that are always in the swings. And most importantly, being able to allow adults to be in a more safe environment while knowing that there are always new improvements happening within that area of Kingsbridge. People in Kingsbridge, there aren't people that are brand new. They've been living there longer than I have, 30, 40 plus years. And
they have amazing stories about their experience in Kingsbridge Road. And I hope that, I believe that this will be not just a new chapter, but an incredible new way for us to just continue to be more united, but more importantly, be able to center ourselves around the new future vision that we all are already taking action upon.
I got you. How's everybody doing? My name is Brandon. I was a kid running around in these parks, St. James and Sedgwick Park, so I just kind of swagged out fatherhood. You know, a lot of people kind of call it the whole spend time with your kids movement, where I just had a lot of fathers just, hey, let's go do this, do this. So I was just going from park to park. And, you know, a lot of the people who help out in his community are friends of mine. People, you know, David, you got friends who play ball overseas, who are doing a lot of other community things, and I've partnered up with them in the past. We've done, I don't really have like a playground. I don't use the Bronx as my playground, and I utilize my friends, you know, Joel. Every time I would always be in a park, I always see him. I didn't really, know him, but just always around. And like, yo, that's the kid, you know. I guess we both got to speak, because I got a whole little thing going on Kingsbridge, so I'm here, I just got off work, love to see everybody in the community come out, regardless of, you know, how the day went. And it's just all about, I'm personally somebody, I don't spend my time watching the news, but I be in other boroughs and this and that, and all you hear is like the Bronx. And people at times are terrified to come out here. And I tell you, like, I'm raising my kid in the Bronx. You know, there's the people out here raising their kids in the Bronx. It's not as bad as, you know, you make it out to be. You know, it's just who are you lining yourself up with? Who are you spending your time with? Where you bring, like, if there's one thing that I always try to do is bring these kids outside of our areas so they can be exposed to other things. But if we could transform the area that we're in, then we can have kids come up and, you know, come here. I have people, I'm like, yeah, I love to go to 20 events, but it's in the Bronx, and I'm like, so what? You know, congratulations to Joel for Sedgwick Park. Some hostages up away from where I'm at. So, congrats, bro, you know. Looking forward to doing the whole
Thank you so much. So with that, you know, of course, I just want to translate for a second. El Jardín Dean Morris fue empezado, bueno, está nombrado por el hijo de Carol Cuthbertson, que estuvo aquí hablando, que también murió cuando hubo un tiroteo. So, estamos unidos contra la violencia y muchísimas gracias a los líderes del jardín. Y aquí en Fort Ford tenemos 2 líderes que trabajan con los niños a cada entorno. Hacen torneos de básquetbol, de baloncesto, organizan muchos eventos en el parque y bueno, tienen muchísimo tiempo luchando por el parque y es un honor poder apoyar el parque en esta forma. So, with that, es el momento del último anuncio. It's time for the last announcement, and that is that in these 100 days, I've also been baking a human.
Yes, you
Thank you all so much for coming. Spanish. I think, you know, for me, I will. Oh, verdad que no lo dije. Bueno, tengo otra sorpresa. El último anuncio es que también en estos 100 días he estado cocinando un humanito en la barriguita mía. Y para mí es un símbolo de la potencial de esta comunidad. Mi esposo y yo y mi familia vamos a traer a esta criatura a esta comunidad. cuando estoy luchando por ustedes, por nosotros, pero también por el futuro nuestro. Así que gracias por venir. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so sorry. I forgot the most important thing. Yes, that's the most important thing. None of this participatory budgeting stuff would have been possible without these individuals. Chef Janita Wilson. Toby Buford.
Bonded, not knowing that we are bonded. Plus, he reminded me of my baby sister.
Hold on, y'all. So these are the delegates, right here, from all different parts of the community. There's one person missing. They put in so many hours of work. Every single week, they were meeting every week to vet these projects, to fight back with the agencies. Estas son las personas que sin ellos, estos proyectos no tuvieran estos fondos. Ellos pusieron tanto tiempo de su tiempo personal, sin pagarles, sin nada, como voluntarios. Cada semana se reunían para discutir estos proyectos y asegurar que todos estuvieran bien para poder recibir estos fondos. So, Chef ella es una cocinera, she's a chef. So she cooks healthy food and she provides lessons to the community. She's also fighting for peaceful intervention in Aqueduct Walk. We know that we need work in Aqueduct Walk. She's also keeping our community safe and informed through CERT, the Community Emergency Response Team. Thank you, Chef. Miss Maria, who you met earlier, she's the president of our Community Education Council in the 10th District. So not only is she the leader for her school and her children, but she has been involved and she has been leading across the entire District 10, the biggest school district in New York City. Who is also deeply involved in our community. She's also a part of Friends of Aqueduct Walk, Friends of DeVoe Park, keeping it clean, keeping it safe, beautiful for the children. And she's also a member of the Bronx Progressive, so making sure we're bringing that political consciousness to our neighborhood. And hopefully soon, also a community member of Ward 7. Amazing. See, everybody get involved. Like these individuals here, these are our leaders. Joel Javier Guerrero, who is a community advocate. As I mentioned, he's been fighting for Fort Ford, and for as long as I've known him, he's running programs. Right? We don't talk about getting our kids off the streets, right? Making sure that they have things to do. He organizes skate nights. He organizes movie nights. He does that with leaders like Randy from other parts of the community, and he gave his time to this effort. I want to thank you. If you haven't seen it, he runs an Instagram page. He runs two Instagram pages. One of them is called Humans of Kingsbridge, right? So he goes around and he profiles neighbors. So please check it out. It's really, really cool. And then finally, Mr. Kwame Whitaker, who couldn't be here today. He's a longtime community resident for years and years and years. That human being, all of these individuals are such good people. Mr. Kwame has been through so much. He's